Globally, shutdowns have disrupted supply chains and at the same time choking off demand for transport, fuel and electricity in production, which has resulted in market price declines across international markets. And while diversification efforts continue, Trinidad and Tobago has a gas-based economy and is largely dependent on the energy industry for foreign exchange. We must face the challenges of the continuing health issues with lower demand and prices in the energy industry. So how have we navigated this pathway? Minister Young tells us now.
Hi, Stuart Young, Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you what we've been doing. We've had some great progress. First of all, we are doing the necessary studies to reduce our carbon emissions and to bring us in line with our commitments. Having just come out of COP26, the world is more conscious of what needs to be done to save our planet. We are doing it here, right here in Trinidad and Tobago. We're looking at ways to reduce our carbon. We're looking at methane capture. We're looking at carbon sequestration and injection and capture, thereby making us a more competitive energy environment, because that's what the balance will be about, to ensure Trinidad and Tobago remains competitive. Fortunately, we were ahead of that graph and ahead of time and already doing some of this work. We also have, quite excitingly, and I'm hoping that it will be announced and the sod turning will take place in first quarter 2022, a massive two-part solar park project being done by Lightsource BP, one of the leading solar project companies in the world, in collaboration with both Shell and BP. It's going to be 112.2 megawatts of electricity generated by solar panels in two specific areas in Trinidad and Tobago. We're also, as you see, we've launched our electric vehicle policy, and that's moving ahead. Trinidad and Tobago recently, our Prisal gas station and NP gas station, almost completely based on solar panel energy, also for the first time has public charging ports for electric vehicles in Trinidad. This is the start of our transition towards the use of electric vehicles, which also is going to assist in the global climate change fight. There are other things we're doing on the renewable side, and we're going to progress with it as we work with the Ministry of Planning in getting those things done, specifically now with respect to energy. In the last year, our national gas company did what many thought was unimaginable. They closed off all of their contractual obligations with the supply of gas to our downstream sectors. On the Heritage, which is our oil production company side, slowly we've had increases in oil production. But excitingly, in the last year, Heritage signed a joint venture arrangement with EOG, and we're hoping to see significant oil production increases as a result of that joint venture with EOG. I've told Heritage that it is a mandate from the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries that we increase oil production, because the horizon for oil is a 2030 horizon. What we need to do now is push our gas production in Trinidad and Tobago, keep the environment competitive. We've also had good news on that part. Trinidad and Tobago has been navigating for almost 2 years the COVID-19 pandemic that we're still in. It shows how committed the government is to the energy sector, that we've had no downtime in any big way at all throughout the whole energy sector by us frontally managing and giving priority to the energy sector during a period of COVID. We've managed to keep the plants running, keep the gas flowing, keep the oil production going. And that too was because of the commitment of our people in Trinidad and Tobago. And congratulations to them to be able to do that whilst navigating the difficulties of the COVID-19 pandemic. On the gas side, we've had some good new production coming on. We've had from BHP, the Ruby Delaware, which has increased both our oil and our gas production. That project was thanks to a visit made by the Honourable Prime Minister to Melbourne, to BHP's head offices a couple years ago, giving them his commitment that we would work with them to get it done. That came on stream this year, ahead of time and under budget. So we increased our oil production and our gas production out of BHP. EOG has remained consistent. Perenco on the oil side has remained consistent. We've also had, at the BP side, Matapal and Cassia C projects coming on stream during the pandemic. These two projects will assist BP in keeping their gas supply consistent. On the Shell side, Barracuda and Colibri, two projects that we again negotiated. And let me just say, the two BP projects, Matapal and Cassia C, were also done by this government, negotiating with BP. So to Shell, their Colibri and Barracuda projects also again increasing and keeping Shell's gas production consistent over the next few years, negotiated by this government in the last few years. The big one for us here in Trinidad and Tobago that will keep us in the gas game for decades to come, we achieved recently and signed the production sharing contract with Shell for Manatee. Manatee will go down in our history as us being able to negotiate with our neighbors, Venezuela, to de-link and de-unitize the Laura and Manatee across-border gas field, and them giving us permission to go ahead and produce via Shell the Manatee side, which will be about 2.7 TCF of gas. We showed that we can be competitive in this global environment by going through months of difficult but constructive negotiations with Shell that culminated in the recent signing of the Manatee PSC agreement. That is a significant one. That now has spurned a lot of interest by others who have gas fields to explore. We're looking now at the deepwater gas, waiting for BHP to complete their appraisal project on the Calypso project, because deepwater gas is what is going to have to help us and take us forward in the future with our gas production. So be assured, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, a lot of positive, hard work is taking place out of the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the two permanent secretaries and all of the staff, especially our younger staff and the more experienced ones who are passing on their experience to the young people at the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries.